Hi, welcome to Forex in 4. I'm Mike Conlon for FXEDU, and in the next 4 minutes, I'm going to show you the highlights of where the action is in today's Forex market. So let's get started.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, April 6, 2011. This morning I'm talking about stealth inflation. And by that I mean, we haven't been getting a lot of these crazy big headlines in the news recently. CPI data was reported last time, but what we're seeing that it looks like in between these data points, if you just look at the commodities markets, things are flying. We've got gold at new all-time highs over 1450. All right, oil still cranking along up in the 108, 109 range. All right, bear in mind that back in the height of the oil spike, all right, 148 was a high, and when you say to yourself, well, that's only $30 or $40 away, it's we're not that close. Well, guess what? Once we started breaking out of that barrier around the 120s, this thing started moving exponentially. So once you get up to that level, you get less supply and demand happening there. So if people are buying, there's less people willing to short it as it looks like it's breaking out. So you can get potential oil spikes. So we're looking at the stealth inflation going on, and now we've got these rate decisions happening tomorrow for both the Euro and the UK. Now I just want to look at the Eurozone here. You can see overnight, Eurozone has been much higher. All right, looks like it put in a baby double top here right ahead of 143.15, but we're just sort of settling in right there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us make another run at 143 here, come back and perhaps challenge 143.50 before the day is out. Now in the Eurozone, their GDP estimates came in as expected. All right, 0.3% gain, showing year over year at 2%. They also had German factory orders came in much better than expected. 2.4% gain versus a 0.5% expectation, and that pushes the euro up to 20.1% versus 17.4%. So things look pretty good in the Eurozone, and all expectations are tomorrow that they are going to raise rates. So we're going to have to see what happens there. Now, sort of on the back burner of this whole deal is what's going on. Portugal got another downgrade recently, so we're going to have to see how the rate hike affects these PIGS countries and the debt. But right now, it's all systems go ahead for a EU rate hike. All right, let's take a quick look at the pound. All right, the pound actually fell a little bit lower, okay? They've got their rate decision tomorrow, and there's actually a very slim expectation that they could raise rates. I believe it's under 10%, but it might even be lower than that. They had manufacturing production figures come in today and industrial production that were much worse than expected. All right, they were expecting a 0.4% gain for the month over month. They got a decline of 1.2%, which pushes the year-over-year number down to 2.4% from an expected 4.3%. Manufacturing production came in flat. They were expecting a gain of 0.6%, and that pushes the year-over-year down to 4.9% versus a 5.8 expectation. So, in the UK, it's like one day you get some decent numbers that look, all right, hey, you know what, the UK economy's improving, perhaps they're going to raise rates, and then the next day you get some worse numbers that say, well, you know what, maybe the economy's not doing so great after all. But if we take a look at this from the perspective of, you can just see that we're still, this is a 30-minute chart. All right, let's look for the past week here. You can see that we're still in a pretty good uptrend right here happening, and as long as we can hold this 162 and a half level, I think the pound's going to continue higher. Just want to show you dollar yen. All right, dollar yen, nice uptrend happening. Reached 85 and a half here, just pulling back to 85, and looks like we're settling in. Now this is the highest dollar's been versus yen in nearly 6 months. So we've got some considerable yen weakness. Now they're supposed to have their rate policy meeting later tonight. Don't expect them to do anything about rates, but I think the market is expecting that they are going to add additional stimulus to try and smooth over and start to take care of the rebuilding process due to the earthquakes and the tsunami. So we've got considerable yen weakness. All right, you can also see Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is moving back towards that 104 area, going to retest the highs that happened just above it at about 104.15. All right, again, you've got that correlation, the high correlation to gold driving Aussie, not to mention that other markets, commodities and stocks alike, are also moving higher. So we've got some considerable risk taking going on. You can see with dollar dollar. CAD dollar is weakest versus the loonie, and that's an all-time high for the loonie as well. We're down to just hit a 95 handle, so just under 96 cents. So that's what we're looking at today. We definitely have inflation happening, and you can see that people are starting to raise rates around the globe. Now, while it's not going to be the UK this time, they could potentially be hawkish. All right, we know that the EU is going to do it tomorrow. How their statement comes out is going to be interesting as well. We have the end to quantitative easing happening in in June, and I think the Fed is just content to let it ride out. And then for once the artificial stimulus is taken away, that we should see some dollar strength on the back of it. So that's what I'm looking at today, kids. Not a ton going on. Oil inventory report going out, which, if there's any sort of supply disruption due to the stuff going on over in Northern Africa, then we could potentially see a 110 handle. So that's what I'm looking at. Good trading to all.
As always, be sure to check out the written blog at www.fxedu.com to get complete coverage of today's Forex market. If you would like to learn more about how to trade the Forex market from professionals like myself, be sure to check out our affordable Forex trading courses. And if you're already a seasoned professional or aspire to be one, ask us how we can help you achieve your Forex goals. Go to www.fxedu.com to get started today.